Alright guys, so as I mentioned earlier, in regards to that rear window wiper blade, this is the original one that I broke while trying to change out the blade. So as you can see, camera to focus. You see right there, there was another small piece, I can't find it, but it would complete like this U shape, where then the wiper blade, there's like a circular piece where this would snap, where it would snap into right here. But the way it's set up, and there's no instructions on this, I found the video, and I'll leave a link, or I'll show that video. It was actually a YouTube short where this guy pretty much he showed he had to use a flathead screwdriver to wedge in between where this ends and the wiper blade begins, and you have to use a thin flathead screwdriver, and you gotta sandwich it in there, and you gotta like push down, and then you kind of essentially pop the wiper blade from this. As you can see, I broke mine. And the replacement in this is actually not bad. I think it's $23 if you go through at the dealership. Here's this housing right here. You pop this housing off, and there's a nut that attaches to this. I think you got to use a 13 millimeter socket, or 13 millimeter. It's a 13 mil bolt. And you got to use a 13 millimeter socket to unscrew it, and then you literally just pull back. With a little bit of force, but there are tools out there specifically for removing these wiper blades, because over time, the rust can keep these in place. But there isn't like a washer or anything. You just have like this metal section. This is painted. The new one I ordered, it was unpainted, so I made sure to coat it with some sort of like rust protective oil or whatever. But as you can see, this whole housing is mostly plastic, and you have like this little, spring right here that creates tension, allowing this thing to do that. And you could fold it back, but I don't know. When I was doing all that, I felt like I was gonna break it, which I ended up doing at this section. But with previous GM wiper blades, essentially this whole housing was one piece. You pop it off, and there was a metal arm underneath the plastic piece that had a hook. And then essentially what you do is you take the blade, when you need to go replace the blade, you just pop it off the hook, slide off the hook, and then pop a new one in. You see that on like the previous model Equinoxes, on the Chevrolet Traverses, even on the past generation Chevy Trax. For whatever reason they put this on, but these are fairly easy to break. And as you can see, there's no metal housing except for, the actual base that this connects to the bolt that holds this in place, to the windshield wiper motor. This whole thing is just plastic, and it's a sturdy plastic for the most part. It doesn't feel like it's gonna break on you on impact, but just trying to replace the blades is a pain in the ass. But this right here, the whole arm was like $23. Here is the GM number for the Trax, the 2024 on up. You might want to pause the screen, and so that's what it's going to cost. You scan that. So yeah, made in Korea. So I wanted to share that with you guys. There are no current wiper blades available that I know of at the moment for these. You're going to have to go to the dealership again, like the front ones. But yeah, I wanted to make this video just briefly talking about what you have to do as far as trying to replace these blades. And again, I'll connect that video to at the end of this, so you guys can see how it's done. It was actually on a Buick Encore Gx, so that would be a good reference to use when you're trying to change out the blades for these. All right, guys, have a good one.